Hello Reformers and welcome to Darksiders 3. If you wonder why we're here in the game already, then it would be an idea to check out the previous episode. Technically it's part 0, and that will give you the first initial cutscene, because I thought splitting them would be a little bit better, considering we can now get into the gameplay immediately, and we don't have to worry about the very hugely long cutscene. It does give you quite a bit of backstory, which is quite nice, so I'm pretty happy to actually have that be a thing. Anyway, fallen enemies will release soul lurchers upon death. Blue lurchers act as currency, green replenish your Nephilim's respite, and yellow will fill your wrath bar. Now, Nephilim's respite is kind of like a refillable health potion from what I can tell so far. And I gotta say that I'm actually very much enjoying the combat as well, and I'm a big fan of the Darksiders series in general. I played Darksiders 1, and I actually played Darksiders 2 on the channel, actually. So yeah, pretty cool. I mean, it's gotta be quite an enjoyable game for me to actually consider playing it on the channel, because if I don't enjoy it, then there's not really that much point, right? Anyway, let's see what I can do here about these guys. Yeah, I'm going to try and execute more of those arcane counters because they are so cool. They just give you that amazing feeling and satisfaction of slow motion. Obviously, it only happens after a well-timed dodge. And that might be a little bit difficult for me to pull off most of the time. Now, the one thing the developers have done, which is a little bit different from previous iterations, is they have eliminated the loot system from Darksiders 2, and instead of a loot system, they have gone for an upgrading system. So basically, well, Fury's whip can change into various incarnations with her various forms that she can take, and this will aid her in traversal and travel mechanics. So for example, right now I can do this. There you go. I can actually use my whip as a swing, and obviously that is one of the most basic traversal mechanics that is currently in the game, and as time goes on there will be many more. I mean, if we actually take a look here, I would assume that we can level up our health, our strength, and our arcane damage, and then we have hollows. Hollows are the various forms, as far as I'm aware, that Fury can take, and of course relics, I don't know what they do just yet. But otherwise we have the Barbs of Scorn, which is our first weapon, and then we have consumables, ingredients, and crystals, and we have base armor and all that sort of wonderful stuff. And then of course they do give you, well, as you can see there, 5 weapons and a huge skill tree to go through, and yeah, I personally feel like so far the game is feeling very, very nice. Anyway, let's move on.
Haven. A haven for what? Vermin?
Humans, mistress.
Adorable. Build a house of sticks during the end of the world. Where exactly do we go from here, Watcher?
I know not but what the Council commands, mistress. The quest for the Seven begins here.
Envy.
Mine! Humans, haven, everything here! Mine! Move on, horsemen, or ye be mine too!
I'm on a mission.
Protecting humans? Humans think creation favors them. They are apes, crawling through dirt.
Quite the grudge you're carrying.
What they have, I will take. When they have nothing left, they will be my playthings until they break. You cannot stop me!
Oh, I don't want to. Humanity is tragically overrated. I am not here for them. I'm all yours.
No!
Alright, so the first fight of the 7 deadly sins is going to be envy.
Your demise is exactly what I desire.
Alright, so some more traversal mechanics here, and I gotta say that I feel like the swinging mechanic is very much at home, considering she's using a whip. And I'm just wondering what other forms they are going to have later on in the game. Ah, there we go. So now they're telling us about Nephilim's Respite, which is our activatable, and it will refill itself by absorbing green soul lurchers from fallen enemies. So it's basically saying, you've taken a lot of damage, maybe you should heal up. And I'm gonna do that, actually. And once again, we're gonna have to do a little bit of traversing, and ooh, there we go. I actually got stopped. Oh wow. Okay, this might be a bit problematic.
Pretty. Come and get it.
Ah, that's mine!
Mistress, not to be a bother, but weren't you supposed to catch envy?
I did. This talisman.
It's a vessel. Envy used it to hold energies from the rest of the 7.
It will make a fitting prison for the others once their physical forms have been broken.
If I may, there is a sort of hum emanating from the talisman. That glow.
Will indicate when one of the 7 is nearby. I know.
So wise. You are all that the Council promised, Mistress.
I'm beginning to enjoy the sound of your voice, Watcher.
Well, with envy taken down, which is, well, I'd say the weakest of the 7 sins, we now have the Talisman of Sin, which will guide us to the others. It is displayed at the top of the screen and directs you towards the nearest sin. The skull icon indicates the nearest one, and the circle indicates other sins that are currently accessible. Alright, so a little bit of open world elements there, I guess. And we have some crystallized souls or spirits in our inventory.
I would be remiss in my duties if I didn't point out that even with the talisman, locating the other deadly sins will prove a challenge.
Finding envy was easy enough.
That was a gift. One I would not count on receiving twice. Envy was also, by far, the weakest of the deadly sins.
Anything else to add?
Only what I assume you already know. The armies of both heaven and hell have cordoned off the world of man into various areas of influence. Look around us. The upheaval we have seen is the very personification of the struggle between order and chaos. You have set for yourself an unenviable task, given these environs.
That's what makes it fun. The other sins are hiding across this shattered world. They strike at angels and demons alike in their own selfish bids for power. Their hubris will lead me right to them.
Perhaps, but you will need assistance.
Whatever I need, I will take, Watcher.
Alright, so yes, as Fury said, it's gonna be fun, and that's what we're gonna do. So let's see if I can swing across here without getting myself killed. Well, that was successful. I think that's the first step of many, and hopefully the next step will not kill me.
Unleash all this. But seeing it, his gifts are impressive.
May I remind you, sisters, that you have no peer among your horsemen brethren.
Now, I'm gonna do a little bit of exploring here. I'm not gonna rush to the final destination, I guess you could say. I'm gonna make sure that we explore it thoroughly enough to make sure that we don't miss anything interesting. There might be some lore objects, and there might be some very useful items, maybe some secrets as well along the way. Seems like we have a number of different ways to go here. We can go up, we can look around here. There seems to be quite a few enemies coming for us as well. I would doubt that I can actually go this way just yet. I have a feeling I'm probably going to get some kind of traversal method later down the line that will allow me to get up there. Unless I can just take the stairs, the old-fashioned way. Seems like it's okay so far. Ooh, medium lurcher clump. That's pretty good. I was going to say medium lurcher camp. Oh, where's their campfire? No, I don't see one. Well, this is very new, isn't it? Yes, I've never before had this in a Darksiders game, being able to crawl through small areas. I mean, War is not particularly known for that kind of thing, and Death, well, he just prefers to run around on his horse. Oh, this might be a bit of an annoyance. Ah, it seems like we've drawn the other one down. That's nice. Just wondering if there's anything over here before I... Oh, wait a minute. That might actually be the right way to go. So let's take the road less traveled. Ah, yes. Alright, this is definitely going to be something that we'll need to return to in the future. If you don't know anything about the Darksiders games, then let me just tell you that they're basically Metroidvania style. So you run through, you do a little bit of... Ooh, you do a little bit of dodging, and a little bit of something here and there. And then eventually, you'll be able to return to areas that you haven't been able to access previously with newly acquired items, and then you'll be able to get through those barriers, like for example the one up there where we can't go through just yet. Is that a big enemy? That looks like a very big enemy. I should probably be a little bit careful. It's probably going to throw cars at me, isn't it? Well, not cars, just its fists. Well, finally took it out, but that was pretty harsh, and I think maybe we're probably not supposed to take care of that just yet. As you can see, there we go, he was guarding a fortifier enhancement, and enhancements can be socketed into a weapon. This is basically replacing loot from Darksiders 2, so these enhancements can be used to change your weapons in some way. Anyway, a socketed enhancement will confer an active benefit to the weapon and a passive benefit to Fury. Alright, so let me see if I can actually... can I actually do something with that, actually? I'm not entirely sure. Ah, there we go, there we go. Equip enhancement. Okay, so I did just gain an unfocused fortifier, which gives me plus 3% physical and arcane damage with this weapon. I guess I might as well do it. There we go. I think you can probably, yeah, it seems like you can unsocket them at any time, and it doesn't really matter whether you use them immediately or not. And here is another place where we unfortunately cannot go, but hopefully soon. There also seems to be another item over here.
That tree. It's impressive. But is it just me, or is it out of place here?
It is a maker tree. Most likely we will find refuge there.
Wow, that is a very large site indeed, and I'm not entirely sure how to get there. Well, there is an item over in this direction, so I suppose if I go through here, I'll be able to pick that up. There is someone guarding it, of course. A strength shard. Oh, okay, I'm not entirely sure what that's going to do. Maybe it's going to give me a small damage boost for a short period of time, perhaps. Might be useful against one of those big guys in the future.
Aren't we making a mighty ruckus?
Says the demon who announces his ambush.
It was not my intention to do battle, horseman. Well, such a passionate little thing, aren't we?
Do not test my patience.
Very well. War is too hazardous an occupation for myself, horseman. I am here in the name of blind capitalism. I am Vulgrim, merchant of the damned, a trader who deals in souls for profit. Even in the face of the apocalypse, one must endeavor to earn a living.
And whose souls do you trade in?
Angel, demon, or even human. All souls have value to me. I've seen the trail of bodies you've left in your wake.
What would I require from you?
That depends. What are your needs?
Information. The 7 deadly sins.
Whispers on the wind say that the fabled horsemen are but pawns in a larger game. Victims of a grand setup.
What do you know?
I know that the first one's free. Call for me if you have souls to trade, and perhaps you will consider my wares valuable.
Ah, yes, Vulgrim. Okay, so a little bit of backstory on Vulgrim. This is actually the same Vulgrim that was in Darksiders 1, and as far as I'm aware, Darksiders 3 takes place at around the same time as Darksiders 1. So if you're into the chronology side of things, then there you go. Anyway, Fury can feed collected souls to Vulgrim to earn attribute points. Attribute points can be spent in Fury's character menu by pressing that. Vulgrim has allowed you access to the Serpent Holes. This ancient network of pathways flows throughout the world and beyond, allowing fast travel between plinths. That is pretty amazing. Very nice indeed. Now, I am going to be ending this episode off here, but next time, we're going to speak to Vulgrim and see if he has any additional information on the next 7 deadly sin that we must eradicate, and otherwise, maybe we'll purchase some good gear, or at the very least, maybe an upgrade or a couple of attribute points or something like that. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.